taking three.
Going for the singles now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today I've got just one replay for us. And what we're going to look at is we're actually looking at a replay that was submitted by Pudahead, one of the subscribers to the channel. Again, thank you very much for sending in your replays. If anyone else has replays you want to send in, just, thoughtgor1@gmail.com. It's also in the comments section of the video. Send them in and I will try and get them up. Especially, if you've got dirt moments or a really good battle or just something you want to highlight, send the replay in and I'll take a look at it and we'll get it up on the channel here so we can all take a look. Now, today, Pudahead is in his mini Kaze, and we are on straight. This was actually a really nice game, and it was a good game for a number of reasons. I mean, it wasn't like, just a whole bunch of damage that was done or anything like that, but I watched this replay, and it was really, really nice to see the way that Pudahead is using the mini Kaze. You can see some situations he's going to line up torpedoes and do it stealth. So that he's not seen. Other times he's going to take advantage of situations and do an ambush on an enemy and take advantage of it in that way. So really good replay here for us to see today. So what we're looking at, again, mini Kaze straight, and Pudahead here is going to go right into the A point. The idea here in the initial round of the video here is to get this point. You'll notice too that the enemy team has a carrier, right? So the enemy team has a carrier, and Pudahead's team has a carrier. Now, interesting to note, Pudahead had mentioned it here in his comments to me when he sent in the replay, that the carriers must have been spec'd out as fighters, right, with fighter planes, and the carriers at this tier, the carrier players either didn't think of it or weren't aware to just attach one of their fighter squadrons over the destroyers so that the destroyers will always be seen. And that's not what they do in this battle. It works out for Pudahead's favor, or rather in Pudahead's favor, in that he doesn't have to worry about aircraft in this battle. Even though there's carriers in the game, doesn't have to worry about them. They're too interested in fighting each other than they are with actually doing other things for the team. Now, I'm not a carrier player, as you all know, so it's very possible, right, that that's the thing to do in a carrier, but I don't think so. I think with the carrier, you kind of want to maybe split your forces or gain that air superiority and then go for the destroyers. Not really sure on that, but anyway, doesn't matter. So Pudahead has come to a stop, but you'll notice that he's in smoke, right? He does have what's it called? The detection ability? The thing that'll tell you when you're detected. I want to say Sixth Sense, right? But it's not tanks. Anyway, you all know what I mean. So we know that he's not detected right now because he's in the smoke, and he's just sort of lining up on targets that appear, shooting torpedoes off at anything that is within his range. More importantly, too, staying in... Is he in the cap point? I can't tell. Where I'm traveling, I don't have my normal equipment. Normally I'm playing the game on a 50-inch flat screen TV. When I'm traveling like this, obviously I can't take that along with me, right? So I think it's 20 inches that I'm using, and it just seems so small, and I can barely see, but we'll make do. So, moving in, he did shoot some torpedoes off there, and you can see he did get into a little skirmish with a Nicholas. Nicholas is still around, but we will see more of that guy later. Now, Pudahead is launching his torpedoes off at these two enemies he's got in front of him here, right? So, again, kind of using an ambush here. I wouldn't say specifically ambush tactics, and only because... I think an ambush would happen at closer ranges, but it was still a nice launch of torpedoes, just even, speculative, right? On the mini Kaze, your torpedo reload time, I think, is like 30 seconds or something like that, so it's really, really quick. Don't worry in this destroyer at all about whether or not your torpedoes are going to hit. Launch the torpedoes anyway. You'll have another salvo reloaded in, no time flat, so just go for it. Why not? Now, we did see the Nicholas. He's going towards the south of the map because the allies, Pudahead allies team at this point, more or less has this northern A point here. So that's great to see. And I love showing off these Minikaze replays just because I do see a lot of people who don't like the Minikaze anymore, and they say, you know, ever since it was nerfed, bunny ears there, that they just don't want to play it. I don't find that at all. I still love my Minikaze. I still have it. Still a great ship, in my opinion, to play and have fun in. So we've got a Kuma there. There he is. And Buddha Head does have torpedoes on the way for the Kuma. Here they come. There goes the Kuma. Excellent. That was really, really nice. And you can see too how he varied the spreads, right? He did 2 narrow, 1 wide, just in case. Also something I'm pretty impressed by is you'll notice that Buddha Head doesn't always use the little gray indicator as to where to fire your torpedoes. He's guessing it more along the lines of where he thinks the enemy might be, or, you know, using the information that's in front of him to judge that, you know, the enemy will probably be in this location rather than where it's suggesting, which is cool. It's something that I can't really do myself. I've tried it and I really suck at it. So for me, I'm always shooting within the gray indicator, right? Unless I know that something's about to happen and that's not where they're going to be. But that's just me. I for whatever reason I can't judge it like that. But Buddha Head can, and it's impressive to see. At least I think, anyway. So the Kuma's gone. We can see we did have a St. Louis in and amongst this area. Need to keep an eye out for him. Even though you're in a tier 5 destroyer, the St. Louis can just pump out shells, as I'm sure you're all aware, and you know, can really cause some trouble for you. So Buddha keeps his distance, which is nice, good to see. More coffee. I gotta tell you, I had one hell of a night last night. Made it home though, made it home. That's the most important thing. Getting back to the game. We're coming in to the islands here that are around the B point, right? It's not actually in the B point, it's to the right of the B point, I guess. Now here is something that when I was talking about earlier about ambushes, yeah, we're about to see it. We can see the enemy there off in the distance. Getting fairly close though, so we want to make sure of a few things. And one, because it's an enemy aircraft carrier, you obviously don't want it, or rather you want to try not to be detected by any returning planes or by any planes that have been or that are about to be launched, right? Buddha Head gets really lucky here. See, there's a Langley, but notice the island in between the Langley and Buddha Head, right? And the Langley is just about to go behind it. This is fantastic. This is what I mean about ambushes, and what I think, you know, we should all strive for when we set up ambushes like this. Buddha Head is using the cover of the island to ensure that the Langley doesn't spot him until the Langley clears the island. If you don't have line of sight, no matter how close you are, you're not going to see the enemy. So Buddha Head uses this to his advantage, waits until the Langley comes around the island, Buddha Head gets spotted, and fires off his torpedoes. This was amazing. And I mean, you know, when we talk about ambushes, at least me, this is what I'm talking about in terms of an ambush. The carrier had no idea. And yes, it's a Langley, and the Langley's maneuverability and speed are quite limited. But regardless, I'm fairly confident that regardless of the ship that was there, Buddha Head would have got him. And that's his second kill. That was great. So now we're moving into the southern half, southern half of the map. The Kuma is gone. That was Buddha Head's first kill. We killed the Langley. Now, you know, Buddha Head doesn't even have to worry about aircraft anymore, right? Yeah, I guess, suppose you could say the only aircraft you would have to worry about are the scout planes for battleships and the fighter planes on cruisers. Generally speaking, though, where you don't have any control, or the player, rather, doesn't have any control over those planes, they're not as big of a threat as an air group from an aircraft carrier, obviously, right? So now, just sort of sizing up the situation before, before Buddha Head gets too deep into it here. Choosing a target, seeing what he wants to go for. We've got this target right here in front of us, and this seems to be the juiciest one, and that's where Buddha Head is setting course, gonna take this guy out, or at least attempt to take this guy out, right? Yeah, more coffee. I believe it was a Miyogi, actually, that he was shooting at, right here. I think this was a Miyogi, and that's what he's sort of lining up on. Pudahead makes a comment. He's gonna go for Chicken Little, and when I was recording the replay, I saw it and I was like, wait a second, is there someone actually on the enemy team named Chicken Little? No, there isn't. It was just a nice reference. So there's the Miyogi right there, and he's grounded. Yeah, I mean, he's on the blue line. There's an island in front of him. He can't get out of this situation. The only thing that he can do is put it into a reverse, right? So Pudahead's within his torp range, and he's moving very slowly here, right? Because he wants to make sure he can get all his torpedoes off, which is great. I mean, I would fully advocate not keeping your destroyer at full speed if you're not detected. If you are detected and you stop or slow down in your destroyer, you may as well just have killed yourself, because it's just not going to work. In this situation, Pudahead's not detected, so there's nothing wrong with it, and he's holding off on the smoke until he does become detected. Keep in mind, this is really, really strategic at this point, right? The way I use my smoke, and I've seen different players use it differently. I've seen players use their smoke for fleet support. That was a nice torpedo hit. A few nice torpedo hits. But anyway, they use it for fleet support, right? Like, they'll pop their smoke and provide cover to their allies. That's good. That's great, and it can be really beneficial. But what I tend to do is, it's fairly selfish. I use my smoke for me. If I'm in a situation where the smoke benefits the team and it benefits me as well, then yes, I will definitely do it. But generally speaking, and I'd like to know your opinions on it as well. Like, how do you guys use your smoke on your destroyers, and what do you think about the way I use my smoke on my destroyers? Because what I do, like I said, I use it for me. If I'm detected and I'm really close, then yeah, I'm going to pop my smoke and I'm going to do it. And I tend to save my smoke charges for me. If I need it, then I'm going to do it. Generally speaking, I'm not going to be using it for allies. I know that's cold, and I know it's probably not how it was meant to be used, but that's how I'm using it, and I'm wondering if that's how you guys are using it as well. So Pudahead, again, you can see, has popped a smoke because he was detected. He's no longer detected because of the smoke. The Miyogi is within his detection range. I believe he's about 5 kilometers or a little more than that away. So Pudahead pops a smoke and stops, and that prevents him from being seen. And more torpedoes, I believe, are on the way for that Miyogi. The Miyogi, I was actually surprised that he didn't get the Miyogi in that first torpedo salvo, but it was because the Miyogi was maneuvering to get himself out of that terrible situation that he put himself in. Yeah. So more torpedoes going out, more coffee for me, and this time we're going to try and get this guy gone, right? Or at least do as much damage to him as possible to ensure that he's not a threat, or that not really concerned. Because frankly, I mean, I know the Miyogi, if it's fully upgraded, it's fairly fast. It is a fast battleship at 30 knots. Well, I should say battle cruiser technically, but we don't have those yet in the game. They are coming. So are light cruisers. There's going to be a light cruiser line there as well. Anyway, and he's actually watching the torpedoes. So there, we get a nice hit on the Miyogi, and he's gone. And Pudahead gets Liquidator. Awesome. Pudahead actually said that this was the first time he's gotten Liquidator. I think I've only actually gotten it maybe 2 or 3 times myself, Pudahead. Maybe. I might be at 1 as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. So now that the Miyogi is gone, it's really just down to the last 3 ships. There's a destroyer, I believe there's a cruiser, and maybe a battleship. Can't really see, but I know there's a destroyer. So there is the Nicholas once again, right? Pudahead is now going to be putting shots into him. Awesome. I love using my guns on my destroyers, gunning people down. It's always great, especially on the Minikaze or Mitsuki, because as you all know, they have terrible turret turn speed. Anytime you can kill someone or get a few shots off with those guns is awesome. Doesn't actually get the kill on the destroyer, but it is able to keep the destroyer at bay. You'll see the Kuma right there, right? So he's able to keep the destroyer at bay, so he doesn't have to worry about this destroyer while he's taking down the Kuma. The points are really close right now, so it's really just a matter of killing one more enemy ship, or at least getting one last enemy kill before the points count up to 1,000 and battle's over. So there's the Kuma, lining up on the Kuma right now. Firing off the torpedoes, right? There they go. He manages to get 2 torpedoes out before he gets into this island here. And those torpedoes are running true, and so they will end up hitting that Kuma. There he goes. That was the last kill. 4 kills in total for Pudahead. Like I say, very nice match. You could see, using stealth torpedoes. You could see him using ambush tactics, and I mean overall scores: 178,000 credits, 2,900 experience, 4 kills, torpedo hits, Liquidator, nonetheless. Critical damages, base captures, all that lovely stuff. Great battle. Now, taking a look at overall results, you do see that Pudahead is on top, and I mean that's no surprise, right? I mean, the amount of kills that he got and the contribution he made to the team, it's no surprise that he appears here. In terms of the enemy team, it was that Nicholas that was top overall. Looking at overall damage done, I believe it was about 60,000 damage. I can't quite recall, and of course the screen is too small for me to add up those numbers. And it's early. I don't really want to do math right now. Like I said, one hell of a night. Now, what's this? Yeah, credits earned, experience earned as well. So this was really awesome. Good battle to see, and it does show off some nice destroyer tactics as well for us here. So that's about going to do it for us today. I do thank you very much for tuning in, watching the video through. As always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.